grand risings, everybody. Grand risings. Actually, afternoon risings. A little quick story time. I don't think I covered this story, but I might go into real detail on the podcast. But this is going to be a quick story time. I was a data analyst at a company at one point in time, and I won't say where I worked, but I will say that it operated like a nonprofit. So you heard all of the deviant stuff, the toxic masculinity garbage, all of this, and you know, all of that kind of stuff going on. So all the white people that was in control, or that had the main control, they keep talking about, you know, diversity and inclusion, include people. That's why that DEI stuff is trash. When they brought out that report about most of the people in a lot of these positions, the white women claiming the woke DEI and all that, those are the people that reap the most benefits. Well, as a data analyst, I want to tell you something. I got to see all the numbers with all the students coming in. They had like a lot of undocumented immigrants and illegals, and I don't think a lot of the folks were citizens where the kids were going to this place. They had, when you look at the documentation of the kids and the parents, when you look at the documentation in all the systems, they didn't claim just, oh, quote unquote, oh, we're brown. No, they put white. This is Hispanic. They put white. The black kids, they didn't really want to bring them to North Minneapolis. They were making all these excuses why they couldn't get buses over south from North Minneapolis. And I just want y'all to understand, when you look at a lot of these nonprofits here in Minneapolis and these school systems and these companies that run under that DEI, oh, we're woke and we're DEI and we're inclusive and all that, that's all garbage. They want as many non-citizens as they can, that they can try to come to Minneapolis to undermine black Americans, where they could just bring a lot of kids. Matter of fact, there was principals that they had a lot of issues with the black people that worked there. So you have this so-called Hispanic sundown environment where the black people were openly being undermined. When I looked into these systems, and when I was looking at a lot of the data, it's windy out, so y'all probably don't hear a lot. When you was looking at a lot of the data, I was seeing how many black kids there were there. It wasn't that many. But the point of the thing I want to talk about is with this whole thing where they keep talking about we don't have a budget. They're making excuses why America doesn't have a budget for this, a budget for that. We ain't got nothing for reparations. We ain't got this, we ain't got that. They would purposely try to keep a lot of black Americans, that is, non-immigrant blacks, out. That's what they would do. They would purposely keep them out. Now, here's the deep thing. When you look at the video where they bring people in and show people, and they have stakeholders in a lot of these big organizations and stuff. So when they show a video about the establishment, they basically show Jim Crow, black folks being mistreated, and then the video cuts right to a Hispanic family with a brand new house. So they basically show us do all the heavy lifting, and then you got a Hispanic family. You know, they show all the woes of Jim Crow and us marching and getting stomped and all this kind of stuff, and then it don't show a black family. It goes straight into it. So I called that out in the meeting one time. I said, wait a minute. Our story didn't start in Jim Crow. Our story started building this country, and I'm trying to figure out why ain't black folks reaping some of the awards. So there was a lot of weird stuff going on. In some of the classrooms, they even had an issue with some of the students with the N-word. And there was a forum that they were going to have. Who can use the N-word? They literally had something like that about who could use the N-word. At first, I was thinking about, well, maybe I shouldn't say it because people. I'm just gonna say it. I won't say where the place was, but I gotta tell it like it is, man. I can't be lying about this type of shit. So, because I was a data analyst, I really couldn't be undermined too bad. I witnessed a lot of different things that was happening to black people. What you had was a lot of white feminists, a lot of LGBT white feminists, and they were running things. They had the big quote unquote corporate jobs. So that goes again proving to that DEI garbage. Who holds and who really truly reaps the benefits of this DEI. That's why I'm not mad that they're getting rid of it, because it probably hasn't worked for black folks for 40, 50 years. So you would have these little affinity groups, and you could tell that there was a racial issue. I noticed they had a black woman that was running it at one point in time. They were acting funny style with her. She's not, I don't think she's there anymore, but they had a sister that was, I won't say where, but maybe if I do a Patreon, I'll break it all down and just tell it. But they had a sister that was running the program, and eventually, you got to a point where people were acting funny style with her, and she's like, yeah, people, they don't want to say anything, they don't want to communicate with her and doing something. And these are supposed to be the liberal woke, the open, the diverse, it's so diverse, and Jerome, you're gonna do better, and you had a lot of that going on. I said, what I told her? Less contact, less contact is the best contact. And she was kind of shaking her head. It's the older sister. In so many words, talk to these folks only when you have to, if they're going to play that game with you. If you're the big boss and you're running things and they don't want to abide by, your authority, talk to them only when you need to. Because I was a data analyst, I couldn't be undermined that much. They had to go through me to get certain information to put things in the system. Salesforce, stuff like that. So, you used to see, whenever they have these groups, they first started out talking about the they, them, and all they asked about some pronoun stuff, and I was like, I guess I looked in the system one time and it said cisgender, so I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what are they calling me, a sissy or something? So it says cisgender, so I asked HR, I said, what the hell is this? I asked that guy at HR, like, what is this? What is this cisgender? I didn't know what none of that stuff meant. And I said, I'm a man, I'm a straight man. I got, I'm a black man. I'm foundation of Black American. What the hell? What is all this about? Oh, well, you could just say he, him, he. That's when I got kind of introduced to that stuff. And I was like, man, like, and so, but I'm looking in the system and it said cisgender or cis something, and I said, what the hell is that? I don't identify as that. What is that? I thought is this going to be male or female or whatever? The biggest kicker that what made me do this video, I seen something where the Dems, they done stabbed at him. They done stabbed him in the back. So he's like, yeah, we gonna get these folks about it. He looked like he's kind of siding along with GOP. So like, yeah, they stabbed him in the back. I thought about how like there's been a bunch of people, especially a lot of Negroes, have been whining about, oh well, if ICE comes to the school and this, that, and third. And I'll tell you, there was a time where there was a letter that was going around telling us, the employees, you don't have to let federal agents in the building if they come. And I'm thinking to myself, yes you do. These are the feds. And what pissed me off about it was, and like, I won't want to round no kids up, you know what I'm saying? But what pissed me off is, if these were some niggas, we'd all be in the paddy wagon. They used the 94 crime bill for that, not necessarily a bunch of kids. I'm quite sure kids let me stop lying. Central Park 5, that was in the 80s, But the 86 crime bill, you know what I'm saying? So that all of them, all of these draconian Orwellian laws against black people, that affected teenagers and children too. So now let me clear that up. If these were black kids and you said they committed a crime and their parents were here illegally, they would have rounded us up without no hesitation. Without no hesitation. So they're telling us, if ICE agents show up in the building, you don't have to let them in. You cannot stop a federal agent from coming inside of a building. There's a federal agent. If they have any suspicion that there's some illegal activity or their parents are illegal, they say, oh, well, their parents are shaking in their boots and this, that, and the third. And I'm thinking to myself, y'all crazy. Then the Floyd thing happened and the layoff. Or let me not say Floyd thing. But that was a thing. They milked that DEI stuff with Floyd. They milked that. Every liberal in town was trying to get a bag. They got a bag out of Philando. But anyway, the George Floyd lynching occurred, and that made things a little uncomfortable. That made things a little uncomfortable because folks was tearing up the city, and they were trying to figure out a way how to word this stuff or whatever because it didn't have nothing to do with no Hispanics. This is a freedman that got killed. This is a black American. So, but everybody tries to milk our pain to try to see if they can convert it into some decibels. But I'm telling you, man, I seen all kind of stuff. I got to see they were making a case where they tried to say that, well, we can't bring kids, making excuses why they couldn't bring kids from North Minneapolis, and then they start drawing the parallel of, oh, well, the Jim Crow North and all that. So they start hitting you with all this DEI garbage. They talk about what happened to us, but when they're supposed to get some change and some actual tangible benefits, they're not really trying to do anything. So, on account of people that still might work there, or some brothers and sisters still might work there, whatever, I'm not going to oust the spot unless I do like a patron. But no, all of that was going on up in there. I remember like the first couple weeks, there was a principal in one of the other buildings. Whenever they used to have like quarterly meetings, the black folks will huddle. Everybody huddles up in their own little thing, and there was brothers basically saying, "Well, they don't want us over there. Black teachers and black physical education people, they don't want us over there." And when I talked to the principal, I had to check her. She ended up getting fired. Let's just keep it all the way funky. She got fired because she was a suspected white supremacist, Hispanic, by the way, Hispanic white. She jumps up one day, and when she meets me the first day, I'm kind of meeting people like the first couple weeks, I go over to one of the schools and I talk to her because I'm going to every school meeting people, because people need to see my face. They need to know who I am, because I'm going to be the one running the data. I'm the one administering Salesforce and all of that kind of stuff. So what ended up happening, man, is she says something like, "Where are you from?" And I say, I think I say I'm from Minneapolis. I'm from South Minneapolis. She said, "I didn't say where you were from. I meant where you come from." So where was I here? Where was I at before here? But she said it real snazzy. And that was my first time meeting her. So I take you for who you are when I meet you. I take you for who you are, for who you is when I meet you. And so she said it like she was like bossing someone around, like you was master or something like that. And I had to check her. I said, "Well, listen," I said, "when you ask something," I said, "I don't know you very well. We're just meeting each other. So when you have some information that you want about me, you need to be specific." She didn't really like that. But see, she thought that she was going to hit me. See, you thought I was one of these I don't know. You must thought I was one of these little butt broken, ass kissing. No, this toxic masculinity over here. This is toxic masculinity over here, if y'all want to call it that. They it's toxic, man. The patriarchy, yeah, they was on that type of time. No, this the patriarchy over here. This ain't one of these, because when they sold me the position, it's the whole we're trying to end white supremacy and all that. And as soon as the other stakeholders start coming in, they switch that up. I noticed the first 4 months when I got up in there, they abandoned that mission statement. Oh, we want to destroy white supremacy. Y'all have, you say, anti-patriarchy, anti-toxic message. Y'all trying to destroy society. Y'all are trying to destroy societal norms and the family structure just by. And then you had this one lady. She had a real nasty attitude. She couldn't get she couldn't get real too bad with me, but like, well, as everybody was introducing themselves, they made you introduce yourself by your pronouns. And then, I couldn't get it together. I think I might have said he, him, his, something or whatever, and I couldn't get it. I said, man, I'm a man. I'm a man and I got a wife. Shit. And so she jumps up afterwards and says it just real aggressive. They ask her something about her pronouns or something. She says, well, I'm gay. And I'm like, damn. And and so she and it was always some issue. So they banned under that DEI LGBT thing to protect them a lot of times in those environments. Those white feminists will do that, and they will be very, very nasty and abrasive, and then hide under the banner of their sexuality and say, oh, you're attacking me because no. You can let people know who he is. I don't give a damn about your orientation. What kind of work do you do? And they don't be doing no damn work. And the lady was kind of weird because she's like, oh yeah, my girlfriend. And I'm like, for you to have a girlfriend, you miserable as hell all the time. And I think she named her baby the name of a demon or something like that. Like the first thing, oh my baby's asymmetrical, or she doesn't have a gender. And I'm like, oh man. God bless the soul of that little child, man. You gonna mess that child up. You gonna do like the Yellow Jacket. They got this series called The Yellow Jacket. It's a bunch of buck breaking in there. It's a good series, but it's quite an analysis to look at. But yeah, that's my story, man, with that data analyst thing. If that was black kids, and if Jerome or Leroy or Quanika or Charlisa were criminals, and they were selling pounds and selling bricks across South Minneapolis, and one of their relatives got caught on Plymouth Avenue serving a bird, and they wanted to come get their kids, and their kids was from Haiti, or let's just say they wasn't, let's say they wasn't immigrants or whatever. Man, they would come up in that school so quick and snatch them kids out. Federal agents would come in that school and snatch your black ass up out of there. Federal agents, if it's a federal agent, you can't come inside. Out your damn mind. They would never give us that kind of leverage. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna break it down even further. On, but I'm gonna do the DEI review pretty soon, man. I got some stuff. I got some information. I got some information, man, that I've acquired that I think is gonna be kind of interesting. So, I'm gonna holler at y'all.